Welcome back. As you know, I've had the STOV for quite some time and it's copped quite a beating. But STOV's just brought out, in the last few months, the charcoal tray. When you use the charcoal tray, you don't need to you remove the burner, deflector, and you don't need the hose, of course. But it's just a matter of slotting the tray in like that. And then you can stick your plate on top. This STOV has had a lot of use. You can still use your windshield, which sits on there. But what we're going to do, we're going to cook some gyros tonight. Didn't have much lunch today, so I'm quite hungry. But we're going to have gyros for 3. You can, so basically with the tray, how I light it, I've sat the tray in a fire with we use heat beads, whichever ones you want. Roughly, I think the smaller ones, I can't remember which one's the smallest ones, but you use about 16 beads. It's just enough, probably 12 or so, 13 with these, 14, whichever. But around about 16 of the smaller ones. But we're going to be grilling chicken tonight. I'll just use some fire lighters. I'm going to use the chimney, and what I have been doing is just sticking the chimney in there. So I'll just put 3 or 4 of these in the bottom of the tray. You could do that method and put your beads on top, but I just find these chimneys, this is a cheap one from Bunnings, but you can just stick that on top. So I can just light that, get these going. Anyway, they'll light up, and I'll just stick that on there. It sits on a little bit of an angle, but that's fine. And I'll put about 16 of these smaller beads in on top. I'll just throw 1 or 2 more in extra. So while that's, just sort of level those out. You probably won't really see that on camera. Well, you might do. You can see that's burning quite well. And we'll just let it do its thing. I'm just going to wash my hands. Get all the charcoal off it. Anyway, we'll let that burn for 10 or 15 minutes and then check up on it. That's been on for 15 minutes. So once these beads are all glowing and you can't really see too much black on, so there's a little bit of black there, but that'll be fine. That'll catch in a minute. So I can just lift that out, hold that down a bit so we don't pull, and I can just pour those into here. And we can just distribute those around. You can see there's a little bit of black on that one. I'll just turn that over. But it's going to be perfect for grilling our chicken. So I can put that to the side. I'll put the grate on. Now with the heat, I've got the STOV tongs here that STOV kindly sent me, along with the STOV skewers. That anything in there, we'll just bend that out a little bit. Very similar to little camp stoves, you've got to manipulate them a little bit with the heat. But we'll just let that warm up and get rid of this. And in the trusty Tucker tribe, we're using it as an esky today, or tonight. Oops, who snuck that in there? Just used a little, because it's quite cold here today and tonight. This has been in here for about 4 hours, but the gel packs hasn't really changed too much. But I've got some salad for the gyros. I think how you pronounce it, the tzatziki. I made that up earlier. Got a bit of red onion. I've got a bit of capsicum. We might cut that out later. But what I've marinated, I might even put the recipe that I've just marinated in the bag. That way you can really get that marinade through. It's basically yogurt. I've used yogurt, freshly squeezed lemon juice. I did use dried oregano, fresh garlic, a little bit of salt, a bit of pepper, and some white wine vinegar, I think it was. And I'll use the olive oil so it doesn't stick to the grill. Yeah, so I'll leave this door open. So once the meat's cooked or the chicken's cooked, I can just let it rest in there for a little bit with the lid on. But what I might do, that's getting quite hot. You can see when it gets hot, the actual grill starts to bow a little bit when it's really hot. We're on a bit of a time constraint tonight. Everyone's hungry and everyone's getting a little bit cranky. So I'm just going to stick them straight on the barbecue tonight. I think I've got about six chicken thigh fillets. So I'll just put 3 on at a time. And once these are cooked, I can rest them in the tucker tribe and cook the remaining 3. And then whatever we don't use, we can have tomorrow. Also, once I've cooked the chicken, I'm going to freshen up these souvlaki breads on the grill, make them nice and toasty. They've been on a few minutes. There's a bit of a breeze, so I'm just going to put the windshield on. It'll help keep a bit of the heat in because it's quite cold tonight. And even though I just rest that on there. Whoop. But I've found this windshield invaluable for most of the cooking tasks. But I can't even remember how many times I've used this stove. I've used it so many times. You can see the wear on the handle here from me washing it. But the chicken's, it's grilling nicely. It's sort of shrunk a little bit, so I might even get the rest of those bits of chicken on there. The smoke's getting in my eyes. Excuse my fingers. Just going to stick them on. It's that time of night where, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did ask for 6 and they've given me 5. And I didn't even notice when I was marinating it. There you go. I did have a sneaking suspicion she didn't put enough in. I did ask for 6 big ones and she gave me 5 big ones instead. So hopefully we don't starve. I keep getting a bit of smoke in my eye. The breeze sort of picks up and it's wafting over in my eyes. Yeah, that breeze is picking up. But I'm just going to turn these ones. You can see a bit of char on there. Cooking nicely. They're the 2 I put on most recently. But yeah, this is just good if you want the traditional char grill. You could use charcoal. You can, the basket actually takes a fair bit of heat. I've had it sitting in an open fire to heat the actual beads up just when I was testing it. And it buckles a little bit, but it seems to go back to mostly to where its original shape was. We can use a couple of the Gerber chopping boards, or prep boards. Okay, there's one piece here that's cooked. I'm just going to rest it in the tucker tribe for now. Let's put that in there and put the lid on. Oh, they're starting to brown up. Still. Oh, that smoke. It's getting me. Oops. Okay, we've got a couple more. That one might do. I'll just turn that one over a little bit. They're browning up nicely. That's pretty good. There we go. Oh, that's getting in my eyes. That smells so nice. Okay, these are ready to take off. I'll just put the original ones back in the corner there. I'll take these off and they can rest while we get the souvlaki breads ready. You can see all those little yummy bits there. A little bit there. Tucker tribe, let that rest. Especially on a night like not tonight. What do you reckon the temperature is tonight? Does it say on your phone if we've got service? What I'm going to attempt to do is rip this windshield off because I want to lightly toast the souvlaki without burning my fingers, which that's pretty hot. Actually, I really recommend, where you can, actually using this windshield most of the time when you're cooking, because it does tend to retain a lot of the heat. But you can see, look at all that. You can just scrape a bit of that off, get a bit of it off anyway. It's only about 14 degrees Celsius here tonight. I'll put that in my little bin. Hopefully we don't melt the plastic. Just take a bit of that off. We don't want the possums eating this or any other animals, goannas cruising around. The meat, the chicken, grilled chicken thighs are in the Tucker tribe, so they can sit there and rest and do what they want without me having to stress about them getting cold. But I'm just going to lift this off so you can see the heat beads there. Put that back on so you can see. Sometimes you just got to bend this out a little bit like that, which is fine. And the souvlaki breads, I'm just going to tzatziki there. I'm not going to worry about capsicum tonight. There's a bit of onion, those who like onion. Get that there. A bit of salad. That's just cucumber, tomato, what is it, lemon juice, salt and pepper. Yeah. That'll just tear it off. Tear it open. I dropped some plastic. Good spotting. Eagle eyes spotted I dropped some plastic. That's cool. So souvlaki bread. I will get some plates. How many plates do we need? 10? No, 3. Oh, you already got a plate? Okay. Yeah, in a previous camp I've actually boiled water on this. It does take a while, but you can see look at that lovely toasting really nice. Don't get too cheeky. Someone out in the background is giving orders, but this isn't theirs. This is the camera's. This is for you. So I want to get a bit of colour on that. See that? Hopefully you can see the colour on that, and it's softened it right up. Because if you were to eat these straight out of the bag, the same goes with the, what are the other things we use all the time? Tortillas? Yeah, with the tortillas, you eat them straight out of the bag, they're terrible. Even these, they're a bit stiff, but as soon as you freshen them up with a bit of heat, they loosen up. Like, look at that, it's so pliable. Actually, I'll show a comparison. Like, in comparison, look at that. You can see, that's delicious. Okay, I'll put this one on. Okay, how do you want that one done? Perfection. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of onion on this. Bring this into the light a bit. I'll bring it up out the front here. And I'll get a piece of chicken out of here. One of the original ones, which is that one. This one here. It's only small. It's shrunk a little bit. Put that up the top. And I'll just get one of these Gerber knives. These things are razor sharp. But I'm just going to slice it down the middle. Put it on there. And I'll leave a little bit of space at the end so we can fold the end up. I'll get, what do we got? Even a fork will do. Oh, that's burning. You should have told me. Well, that one's nearly burnt. Maybe that'll be mine. I'm going to put a bit of tzatziki on there. Look at that. This one's got onion. Someone didn't want onion, so I don't know what we're going to do here. I'll pull that one off. That's still alright, it's not even burnt. But you can see, hopefully you can see that. That's delicious. And if you want to get fancy, you could wrap it up in some foil or some baking paper. But that's why I like char grilling. But if you want convenience, if you want to do it quicker and more convenient, you could use the gas part of the stove. But if you want more traditional smoky char grilled, this is the method to do it. Anyway, I've got to cut this and make the rest of them for everyone else here. And I will see you in the next one.